Guys, now could be the best time ever to start playing Raid Shadow Legends here at the beginning of 2025. The game's bursting with content. There's updates and rotations constantly. They've put in these incentives and perks for new players to kind of deaden the learning curve when you first start the game. It can be pretty grindy. There's a login legendary event going on right now. Quality of life is updated and improved. Guys, this is a fantastic time to start. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to use my unique Plarium code to start your raid account with 2 awesome epics. Legitimately, the 2 I would pick, my 2 favorite for a new account, and you'll have them by level 15. It's not hard to get to level 15. Stop what you're doing, get to your computer. You're not going to want to miss this. Welcome to the channel, guys. Glad to have you here. Let's get started. A little housekeeping, you're not going to be able to do this on mobile, so you definitely need to be on a computer. And the second thing is you're going to need to do this in a web browser other than Opera GX. Now, I actually use Opera GX and Chrome, so I can say that I tested this link, and for some reason, Opera GX changes the link to something that's already expired and a completely different thing. No idea why, but you're not going to be able to do this in Opera GX. So stick to some web browser you have on a Mac. I'm sure Firefox would work. I use Google Chrome. That's what you're going to see right here. All right, guys, the first thing you're going to want to do is go to the description box below, click the link that says get your free champions, and it's going to bring you to a page that looks like this to sign up for Raid Shadow Legends. What you're going to do is go ahead and put in your username, whatever you want to be called in the game. Okay, and then put in a password. Definitely not the password used for everything, with only slight variations occasionally. Please don't hack me, guys. Then you're going to put in an email. You didn't hear this from me, but this can actually be a dummy email. I'm going to do that because I've had a couple takes at this, but you should just put in your regular email in case you ever need to recover anything. I'm going to go ahead and put raid tutorial player at raidstuff.com. By signing up, agree to legal terms. Click play, and it's going to start a download for the executable file to install the game. Go ahead and save it. Make sure you click on that. And by the way, it doesn't matter if you already have Plarium Play on your computer, this is still going to work. Go ahead and click it. And if you're like me and you have Plarium Play, it's going to do what it does on the screen here. If you do not have it, it'll just prompt you to download the launcher. And that Plarium Play launcher is the launcher that Raid launches out of. So in my case, it's asking for admin permission. And then it's going to bring up a little picture with Gallic that says it's already installed and prompts me to launch. Here it is. Application is already installed. Click launch. And what it's going to do is it's going to open Plarium Play and then open Raid, but it's going to open Raid with this file that we just downloaded, which means that it's going to be a brand new account with these 2 redeemable champions tied to it. Now you're going to get the first champion, Ugo, by the time you get done with the tutorial. You're going to get the second champion by level 15, but I promise you level 15 is easy to get to. All right, guys, so here's the tutorial starting right now. And what you're going to do basically is follow the instructions here. I've done this a bunch of times. It's a little bit long, so there's probably no point to record it for the whole video. So I'm going to skip through to the next point where you pick your champion. When you get to the screen where Arbiter tells you that she failed and now it's up to you, and there's 4 champions, come back to the video. See you in a sec. Okay, guys, so here you are at the screen where you're going to pick your starter champion. Now, I would say this is controversial, but I think that there's like an enormous amount of consensus in Raid now that you're supposed to pick Kyle, the Dark Elf here in the left middle. But I'm going to tell you, I kind of feel like that they're all good champions. I do feel like Gallic the Orc is probably the weakest, but for this one, I'm going to pick Ethel, and the reason for that is that Ethel has a couple very useful mechanics in her kit that the other champions don't have. Here's how I would rank them. Kyle is by far the best in Clan Boss. Elhain is by far the best in Arena. Ethel is literally a mix of both. So she's good in Clan Boss because she has a weaken debuff on her A1 as well as a 3-hit A1, which we'll go into these kinds of like nuanced mechanics later. But 3 hits on an A1 skill, which is your default skill, is really good for Clan Boss. But then she self-buffs. So that makes her really good for Arena, and it makes your options for an early team comp, depending on which champions you pull in the game, it makes her way more viable for different kinds of teams. So I'm going to pick Ethel. If you want to go off what I said, best Clan Boss champion, Kyle, best outright Arena champion, Elhain. But I think that in order, they would probably rank, I don't know, like Kyle for Clan Boss is what most people decide. I personally like to take Ethel because she's both, and then I would put Elhain third. But you can do what you want, right? I'm going to go ahead and pick Ethel. Click choose. The tutorial is going to continue, a bunch of other stuff. When it gets to the point where she explains affinities to you and tells you to select your champions and challenge a stage, I'm going to link back up with you there because there's something I want to show you. See you in a sec. Okay, so here we are. This is where I want to show you something. So 2 things. One, if you look in the bottom left, there's info, which is grayed out, auto, and ×1. You're going to want to click that, and everything that happens in the game when you click this and it shows ×2 will happen twice as fast. You definitely want to do that because it can be kind of slow and laborious if you don't. All players I know run the game on 2 times. Then the other thing is you can click auto, and it will just start cycling through the turns until champions die and you either win or lose. You're going to win because this basically still the tutorial. But what I would say is I would prefer to advise new players to actually not do auto, at least until they're familiar with the skills that the champions possess. So you can do things like you can click and hold to see what this skill does, read the description, that's exactly what she's going to do. Same thing with the other skills. And then the one on the far left is always their default skill. So this never goes on cooldown. They can always do it, but these other two do go on cooldown. So basically I would just advise you get familiar with the champion kits. And then once you know what they do, you're starting to understand the strategy and synergy in the game, then you could go on auto. For me, I've done this a bunch of times. I'm a level 100 player in the game. So I'm going to go ahead and skip through the rest of the tutorial and meet you at the end. So I'm going to click auto. See you guys in a bit. All right, guys, here we are. The tutorial's done. Basically, what you're going to do now is deal with all the pop-ups. Welcome to Raid Life. There's notifications you can click over here to claim some free rewards. These can all be found a different way if you missed the notification, so don't stress about that. But okay, guys, Future Vamp here. I forgot at the time of recording the video a crucial third step. So once you finish the tutorial and you redeem your first epic champion, Ugo, you're going to immediately want to go here to the left tab in the game, click on promo codes, and enter a promo code to get a free legendary champion right away. These only work for new players. It has to be in the first 24 hours, so make sure you do this right away. Now, the best two codes for me, I believe, are Monkey King or Get Loki. They're going to be on the screen. You can make your choice. Loki's a very good support. Sun Wukong for the Monkey King code is a really good damage dealer and actually a debuffer and stripper as well. Also, there's mechanics there to consider. They're not the same role at all. But if you wanted to use another code, there's ways to access those codes online. You could hop in my Discord via the link below in the description. I'd be happy to help you find other codes. But there's a number of champions you can get as a new player using this code in the first 24 hours, but you can only do one. So make sure you choose carefully. Like I said, I'd probably recommend Loki because you have a block buffs champion, which is one of the things Sun Wukong does already in Ugo, and Ugo will help your team stay alive. Sun Wukong is kind of just a nuker, but he's very, very powerful and he's used by a lot of players all the way up to the end of the game. So make your choice. You can either use one of the codes I suggested, Get Loki or Monkey King, or you can, go online or go to my Discord and find a different code that suits you best. Back to the video. Basically, look around the game, read as much as you can handle reading at one time. This is where your champions live. When you have a red dot, it just means that you just unlocked a champion from this faction for the first time. As you can see, Ethel, the starter that we chose, was from this faction, so that's what that's for. But there's a couple other ones because you have like Sniper in there, which was the other champion that was like our duo. You can go in and redeem all this stuff. Basically, guys, follow the red dots around, read as much as you can read. Please, guys, if you're a brand new player starting out and you have any questions, drop a comment down below. I definitely will be watching those, and I also have the link to my Discord in the description box. You could check that out, and there's several super chill raid players in that server that would be happy to answer your questions, and I'm pretty active in it as well, so we'd love to have you guys. But basically what we're going to do is go up here to the inbox now, and this is wrapping things up, and here's your champion, the first one. Okay, so remember I said 2 epics. The second one you get when you get to level 15. I think it will pop up here, which is called your inbox. I'll show you again in case you're new. Up here in the top right, you got, this is just global chat because this account's not in a clan. And then the inbox, that's not the inbox, it's pop up. The inbox right here. So I'm going to go ahead and collect. Ugo is an awesome champion. I'm definitely going to go into both of these champions in a later video. But for now, we're going to wrap this up. And basically, guys, go level your account up to level 15. I'm going to level this one up to level 15 so that I get Tagore on a brand new account. Well, level 15 brand new. And then I'll make a video showing and explaining how to use Ugo and Tagore and why they're so good. Anyway, guys, until then, that's enough of that. Y'all have a good night or morning or afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.